Picture it, it's VidCon. Me and fellow YouTuber Lulaloopsey make a promise to each other, nay, an oath, to explore the Junie B Jones franchise. 3 books each. But instead, I tripped and accidentally read through 11. Because guys, it's like going in a time machine and visiting little Athena P. Go on this journey of joy, nostalgia, and secondhand embarrassment.
Your video to the show. I do.
Butt lovers! Before we begin, thank you so much to your local theater kid for today's makeup inspiration. Welcome to another lore light. A lore light is when I look at part of the series, as opposed to my lore series where I look at all of it. Junie B Jones, the titular bitchular. It feels weird to call her a bitchular because she's 5 years old, but a catchphrase is a catchphrase. Speaking of, every book starts with this introduction. My name is Junie B Jones. The B stands for Beatrice, except I don't like Beatrice. I just like B and that's all. Fun fact, back when I was 5 and I read this for the first time, I started all my journal entries like that. The P stands for Priftakis, but I just like P and that's all. So Athena P, my channel name, is because of her. Already so deep. Starting off strong with Junie B Jones' first day of kindergarten in Junie B Jones and the Stupid Smelly Bus. But you know what isn't stupid and smelly? The sponsor of today's video, Factor 75. Factor always provides delicious, never frozen, dietitian approved meals straight to your door. Can you tell I was excited? And I just tried Gourmet Plus for the first time, where I had a truffle filet mignon.
Oh my god.
I'm not exaggerating when I say, mwah. It felt like I was in a restaurant. Whether you work from home or on the go, these meals are chef crafted and dietitian approved, ready in just 2 minutes. Me and my husband tried a bunch of them and they always slapped. Skip the overpriced takeout. Factor is much more affordable and delicious. Thank you so much to Factor 75 for sponsoring today's video. Use my link or my code AthenaJan50 to get 50% off and free shipping on your first Factor box. Once again, that is AthenaJan50 for 50% off and free shipping on your first Factor meal box. Now back to the video. Just a refresher, her name is Junie B Jones. B stands for Beatrice. Don't you dare fucking say Beatrice, she just likes B and that's all. The day before kindergarten, Junie B and Junie B's mother meets the teacher for the first time. A great ongoing gag is that Junie B never catches the teacher's name. She just says Mrs. But the teacher will never forget her name. Because if there's one thing about Junie B is she asserts herself. B, I said, call me Junie B. I hollered the B part real loud so she wouldn't forget it. Boundary setting queen. She continues, people are always forgetting my B. I'm gonna start doing this when people meet me. Oh, it's so great to meet you, Athena. P! What, like right now? Her mother clearly didn't understand why the B in her name was so important, so she started acting like a B. Mother rolled her eyes and looked at the ceiling. I looked up there too, but I didn't see anything. This level of confidence without a care in the world is how I aspired to be and how I still aspire to be. It's so much easier when you're not thinking about other people's intentions or whether or not you're annoying them. Catch this. Junie B has a meltdown and it's completely understandable in my opinion. Her mother tells the teacher that Junie B will be taking the bus. This is something she clearly hasn't told Junie B because the kid keeps asking, where is the bus taking me? Hey, I have a question, where's the bus taking me? And they ignored her time and time again, so she finally lashes out. Yeah, only where's this stupid smelly bus going to? She's getting scared. It's so easy to just answer her. After her mother and teacher get mad at her, she doesn't yell at them again, but it's clear her thoughts turn violent. Just then, another mother and a boy came in, and Mrs. went off to talk to them instead of me. I don't know why though. The boy was hiding behind his mother and acting very babyish. I can beat up that boy, I think.
What?
Once again, understandable, she's 5 years old. She still hasn't gotten an answer on where the stupid smelly bus is going, because this teacher just moved on to the next kid, who Junie said she can beat up. Is this just an observation, just for fun? Or is she mad at this boy for taking the teacher's attention away from her? Who knows? I don't even think thinks she knows. She's a toddler. Her thoughts are scattered, a lot's going on, and no one's helping her process these big feelings. Chapter 2 is called Feeling Squeezy, which I'm not even joking is a fantastic way to describe anxiousness. Having butterflies in your stomach is too cutesy. I'm feeling squeezy. Anyway, I'm already really starting to hate how dismissive her mother is. Guess what? I said, because it's in first person, that's Junie B. Guess what? I don't think I want to ride that school bus to kindergarten tomorrow. Then my mother rumpled my hair. Oh, sure you do, she said. Oh, sure I don't, I said back. Then mother kissed me and said, it'll be fun, you'll see. Just don't worry. She didn't ask why she was feeling those feelings. She rushed out of there with the best advice in the world. Oh, just don't feel that way. A++ parenting. Let's see how Junie B feels about that interaction. I worried very much, and I didn't sleep so good either. It's also kind of obvious just how excited her mother is for her to finally go to school. I don't think I want to ride this bus to kindergarten, I told mother again. Then she gave me a little push. Go on, Junie B. Mr. Wu, who's the bus driver, is waiting for you. Be a big girl and get on. So Junie B Jones probably has the worst experience you could ever have on a bus. She thought this girl had really pretty hair. Junie B's mom told her to sit next to the curly hair girl. Guess what? I said. Mother said for me to sit here. No, she said. I'm saving this seat for my best friend, Mary Ruth Marble.
Bitch, sit your ass down and shut the hell up, bitch!
Her mom sets her up for failure once again. Then, this kid Jim is so mean to her and quickly becomes her nemesis. And then if that all isn't bad enough, she gets trampled. No! That's when I fell down and a big foot stepped on my skirt that looks like velvet. Even when Junie B is having the worst time of her life, she can't help but be iconic. Hey, watch it, you dumb Jim! Let's try to use our quiet voice while we're in school. I hate that, Jim. Her need to express herself unfiltered once again gets her into trouble. Hey, there's a jillion of them in here, I hollered, feeling very excited. I think I love this place. The librarian bent down next to me. She said to use my quiet voice. Yeah, only guess what? Right now, I just like the kind of books with pictures, but mother says when I get big, I'm gonna like the ones with just words, and also stewed tomatoes. The boy I can beat up said, shh. I made a fist at him. Then he turned around. So, she also got threatening again. The kid semi-deserved it. I'm kidding, but don't shush my queen. Tiny tangent, but my brother's dog is an asshole.
Jesus
and the
Christ.
dog trainer says not to scold a dog for giving a warning. Like a scary growl. Now, I know I'm comparing a wild animal to a kindergartner, but once again, Junie B is valid. And she's also a good girl. She gave a warning instead of going sicko mode on Crybaby William. Also, isn't there a character in Horrid Henry named Weeping William? I guess if you name your child William, the higher the chances are of your kid having depression. Hate to say it. The literature doesn't lie, unless it's a Pokemon book. I got a lot of shit for my last video. Her day is overwhelming. She keeps getting in trouble. And worst of all, she hates the bus so much, who would have thought, and she got extra scared after her friend Lucille told her that she heard that kids pour milk over each other's heads on the bus home. So Junie B stays at her school after it's closed. Not clickbait. She sneaks around her school having way more fun now that the other kids are gone, but she does catch the janitor. Then I saw a man with a trash can. He was singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. That's a song I know. It's from my favorite movie, which is called The Wizard of Oz. I love that she gets names wrong. She's just like me for real. Also, she loves The Wizard of Oz. I need to know how she feels about Wicked. The music sounded good and the characters were fun. Cynthia Erivo painted herself green for Alphabet, and Ariana Grande was really cool as Linda. But I think she painted herself too because she usually doesn't look like that. Junie B Jones has to go to the bathroom and the doors are locked. So she calls 911. It's a really good thing she didn't overreact. So not only did she scare her mom, teacher, and principal, but there were a bunch of police officers and firefighters. I don't care how scared the adults were. Stop being mean to this baby. They couldn't have made the adults look more evil and her more innocent. I know it's in her perspective, but I'm inclined to believe her over everyone else. Since we've arrived at the end of the book, it's time for the mom to start being compassionate and empathetic right at the last second. When she finally hears out her daughter and hears why the bus is so awful? Junie B's mom heard that another kindergartner, Grace, was riding on the bus for the first time the next day. Mother called that Grace's mom, and then they talked, and then me and that Grace talked too. I said hi, and she said hi, and she said she would sit with me. Grace is Junie B's best friend. Junie B may have connected with Lucille first, but I don't think Lucille is her best friend. She laughs at Meanie Jim's jokes and throws her under the bus constantly. Book 2, Junie B Jones and a Little Monkey Business. Like I said, second book and already another big life-changing event. Junie B's parents are having another baby. So Junie B's gonna be a big sister. Her mom got immediately fed up because Junie B wasn't immediately excited, and instead she was just confused. She just kind of shrugged because there was no present, and her parents said there was a surprise, and a surprise usually means a present. I'm gonna be easier on the mom in this book because she has hormones, that's why. Look at how visibly pregnant she is. A few months must have passed between this book and the last book. Now that Junie B knows what's up, she's starting to notice all the changes. The first change she noticed is with her house. The baby's room used to be the guest room. That's where all our guests used to sleep. Only we never had much guests, and so now if we get some, they'll have to sleep on the table or something. You can't help but see exactly where this kid is coming from. She has so many thoughts, and people already think she's chatty, but they don't know how much she's holding back. How she's only sharing just a teeny bit of what she's thinking. Listen to this. A crib is a bed with bars on the side of it. It's kind of like a cage at the zoo, except with the crib you can put your hand through the bars and the baby won't pull you in and kill you.
What?
So someone taught her the danger of wild animals. The bar is on the floor. Also, I think Junie B watches the news, so who knows where she's seen that. While her mother is giving birth, her grandpa is watching her, and Grandpa Miller was on track to be the chillest dude, having pie for dinner with Junie B, which she was very excited about, checking for monsters in the closet when Junie B was scared. But look at this shit. A whole ass cigar inside, with thick smoke surrounding the toddler. Call me woke or whatever, but I don't like that. Junie B, however, was hype. And guess what? Grandpa smoked a real live cigar right inside the house. And Grandpa didn't yell, "Go outside with that thing, Frank." Unfortunately, that's hilarious. This book is even better at capturing the frustration that comes when you feel ignored, and the adults handle it better as well. Before I left, the funniest thing of all happened. My Grandma Miller came home, and she said that Mother had a baby, and it was the boy kind. Then me and her and my grandpa all did a big giant hug, and Grandma Miller picked me up and she swinged me in the air. "You're just going to love him, Junie B," she said. "Your new brother is the cutest little monkey I've ever seen." Then my eyes got very wide. "He is? Really?" Grandma Miller put me down. Then she started talking to my grandpa. "Wait till you see him, Frank," she said. "He's got the longest little fingers and toes." I tugged on her dress. "How long, Grandma? Longer than mine?" But Grandma just kept on talking. "And his hair, Frank, my word. He's got oodles and oodles of thick black hair." I pull on Grandma's arm. "How come, Grandma? How come he's got hair?" I asked. I thought little babies were supposed to be baldies, but still, my grandma didn't answer me. It's 2 pages, she still didn't answer. "And he's big too, Frank. He's much bigger than any of the other babies in the hospital, and you should feel how tightly he grabs onto your finger when you—" Just then I stamped my foot very hard. "Hey, I want some answers down here, Helen. He's my baby too, you know." Grandma Miller frowned at me, because I'm not supposed to call her Helen, I think. Sorry, I said kind of quiet. Then Grandma Miller bended down next to me, and so I don't have to yell anymore. This scenario feels realer to me and also more understandable, because Grandma is getting caught up in the excitement. She can't stop yapping, very similar to Junie B. And in the end, as I said, she saw eye to eye with the young girl and twirled her around the kitchen. So remember how I said that Junie B isn't best friends with Lucille? I was apparently wrong about that. But was I? You'll see. Junie B is best friends with Grace and Lucille. But I'm not sure Grace and Lucille are as close with each other. A Wonder Pets, Linny Tuck and Ming Ming type of situation. Because shit very quickly hit the fan for these two. "Grace is angry at you," said Lucille. "She said that she rode the bus today and you weren't even there to save her a seat. And she had to sit next to an icky kid, right, Grace?" Grace bobbed her head up and down. "Yes, only I couldn't help it, Grace," I said. "That's because I stayed at my Grandpa Miller's all night. And there's no bus at that place, so he had to drive me here today. I tried to hold that Grace's hand, only she quick pulled it away. Okay, that's not very nice of you, Grace, I said. And so guess what? Now I'm not going to tell you my special secret. That's when Grace called me a poopy head. Lucille held my hand. I don't think you're a poopy head, Junie B. And so you can tell me your special secret and I won't tell anybody, not even Grace. That's when Grace kicked Lucille's leg, and so Lucille pushed her down, and Mrs. had to come pull them off of each other. I raised my hand very polite. I wasn't involved. Very funny. I love that Junie B is thriving in this situation. But look at this goddamn picture once again. Why is the teacher giving her the stink eye? She just told you she didn't do anything. You have baby WWE right in front of you, but Junie B said something snarky. So yeah, direct all your anger at her. My God. Junie B Jones not only has a boyfriend in her class named Ricardo, but also, unfortunately, the teacher was actually catching on to something. Junie B is still encouraging her friends to fight over her and who gets to see the baby first. At this point, Junie B hasn't even seen the baby. She's getting her friends to give her so many gifts, including but not limited to the clothes off their back. The teacher is very angry at Junie B's entrepreneurial ventures, so she sends her to the principal's office. Let me get this straight. The two kids beating each other up was fine, but God forbid they volunteer their things to Junie B, who's opportunistic as hell, I'll give you that, but how could she not be? Anyway, she knows the principal is where bad kids go, so every time she goes there, this is an ongoing joke throughout the series, she pulls her clothes over her face. She hides herself. My heart got very pumpy because she was tattling on me, I think. After a while, she came out again. Principal came with her. Principal has a baldy head, which looks like rubber. So earlier in the book, Junie B reveals to her class that she has a baby brother who's a monkey. For whatever reason, even though it was very clear on the page, I thought she was scamming her classmates, but no, she's sincere as usual. I mean, her grandma said her brother's a monkey, so what else would that mean? The principal was surprisingly understanding, calling up her grandma to clear up the confusion, and then the principal and teacher turned this into a teachable moment. I'm gonna read it for you. I had to hold myself back from reading the entirety of all of these books. Principal went into room 9 with me. I would like to explain what happened during show and tell today. It's about Junie B Jones and her new baby brother. Just then that Jim I hate jumped right out of his chair. "He's not a monkey, is he?" he shouted very loud. I knew it. I knew he wasn't a monkey. I made a big fist at him. "How do you like this up your nose, you big dumb Jim?" Then principal frowned at me, and so I smiled. I hate that guy. "You see, boys and girls," the principal said, "sometimes adults say things that can be very confusing to children. Like, what if you heard me talking about a lucky duck? You might think I was talking about a real live duck, but lucky duck just means a lucky person." So then the class starts giving examples. Then my friend Lucille raised her hand. "I've got one too," she said. "Sometimes my Nana calls my daddy a couch potato, only he's not a real potato. He's just a lazy bum." "I'm sorry your brother isn't a real monkey, Junie B," she said. "Thank you, Lucille. I'm sorry that your daddy isn't a real potato, too." This is written so well. Like, kids are just out of pocket like that sometimes. I didn't come out of a pocket. So you know how Lucille's dad isn't a potato? When the book ends, we see how excited Junie B was to see her parents. It's been a whole day, and they've never been apart that long. I still act like that with my mom. We call each other like 8 times a day. It's concerning. I'm reading more. Hush your face a second. It's so freaking cute. You gotta hear it. Only then, a very wonderful thing happened, and it's called I Heard My Mother's Voice. Junie B, over here, honey. Daddy and I are over here." Then I looked in the parking lot, and I saw her, and so I run to her speedy quick, and then me and mother hugged and hugged, because I hadn't seen her for a very whole day. Then my daddy got out of the car, and he had a little yellow blanket in his arms. And guess what was in that thing? My new baby brother. That's what. And she immediately loves her little brother, and she says she wants a locket with his teeny face in it, which is kind of the most affectionate we've seen her towards him, throughout kindergarten at least. Because he's so little, she gets frustrated. She's like, what am I supposed to do with him? He's not really doing anything. Junie B Jones and her big fat mouth. We open with career day. Junie B Jones learns that career means job, so she is stressing. Yeah, only guess what? I don't know what I'm gonna be when I grow up. And so that means I can't come to school on Monday, and now I'll probably flunk kindergarten. Jim insults her, then Lucille insults her, then the teacher punishes her. Average day for Junie B. But this time it's personal, so she spends recess sulking. Junie B found candies in the grass and plopped them into her mouth. And the janitor speaks for all of us when he says, "Spit that out!" Then they have this conversation. And so I spit the cherry lifesaver on the ground because that guy was scaring me, that's why. Janitor bended down next to me. I didn't mean to frighten you, sis, but I spotted a bunch of dirty candy in the grass and I was going to clean it up when I finished painting. He looked serious at me. Don't you ever eat anything you find on the ground. Do you hear? Not ever. But I blowed off the germs, I told him. Janitor shook his head. You can't blow germs off. Eating things that you find on the ground is very, very dangerous. Don't you put it in your mouth. Now run along and play, he said. Yeah, only I can't, because I shot off my big fat mouth in kindergarten, and then I got punishment, and now I hate my bestest friend Lucille. Janitor smiled a bit sad. Life is hard sometimes, isn't it, sis? Then Janitor patted my head, and he walked away. And so guess what? I just like Janitor, and that's all. The only thing that's unrealistic about this is this guy keeps calling Junie B sis, and I feel like she'd say, excuse me? Why are you calling me that? Because I already have a brother. Even if I didn't, you're like way too old to be mine. Junie B got kind of hype when a cop came into the class, and I was afraid she was gonna pull a DW. No! But don't worry, this page calmed my concerns. Then Mrs. said that maybe some of us would like to dress up as dentists or police officers on job day. Yeah, only what if we don't like drunk guys or bloody teeth? I asked. She rolled her eyes way up at the ceiling. I warmed up to the parents, but this teacher just gets irritated with any kind of questions. Hey, if you don't like questions, don't be an elementary school teacher. Maybe you should have paid attention during job day. Junie B Jones decides she wants to be a janitor for a career day. It's so funny because I somehow didn't see this coming. Junie B had this revelation while she was using a flashlight to find her brother's pacifier. So she named a bunch of things that she wanted to include in her career, which included finding things and painting things. And earlier in this book, actually I think it was in the book before this, we saw her parents painting her brother's wall, and they were looking for her brother's thing. So I fully thought she was gonna say she wanted to be a parent, but no, it was actually a parent. She wouldn't say that. And I'm just a little stupid in the head. This janitor was so nice to her. It was exactly opposite my sister's experience in elementary school. One time she went up to a janitor and said, "You're doing a great job cleaning that up." And he said, "You're talking to me?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Don't talk to me." I want to punch that guy. It should have ended on that sweet note that the janitor felt appreciated, because it was clear he was sad in the beginning too. And he lit up when he was seen at career day. But instead, we end off on this note. I really like that Gus Maloney. That's his name. I whispered to my bestest friend Lucille. Only then that dumb girl named Lily heard what I said, and she started singing, "Junie B's got a boyfriend, Junie B's got a boyfriend." And so that's how come I felt very embarrassed. Me and my big fat mouth, I said. Then Mrs. laughed, and janitor laughed, and everyone else laughed too. Lily should have gotten a stern talking to. That's so weird and creepy. Fourth book we're talking about, fifth book in the series. Try and keep up. What do you know about Junie B Jones and the yucky blucky fruitcake? So I feel like most of the time Junie B Jones's rambunctiousness and mischievousness is completely unintentional. Like in the beginning of this book, when she told her little brother Ollie to shut his face, she thought she was, in her words, doing a discipline, which I suppose she was. But I can't give her the benefit of the doubt because she overheard her parents telling her grandpa the rules, the first of which being she's not allowed up on the fridge. The moment her parents leave, she's on that fridge. She probably thinks her grandpa will let her get away with it because, he wasn't supposed to be smoking inside either. Yeah, you thought I forgot about that? God, I'd love if she blackmailed him. That would be a hoot. That obviously didn't happen. Cause like I said, 99% of the time, she doesn't mean to misbehave. She's just being herself, and I gotta respect that. Rare parenting W. Yeah, I know. Listen to this. Junie B Jones is excited about the school carnival and all the prizes she's gonna bring home that she started practicing. You see, practicing is when you launch a sponge into the toilet, flooding your bathroom. Not only were the parents surprisingly calm, with the only punishment being that she had to help them clean up and take a bath, but they also turned this into another teachable moment. Look, Junie B, Daddy and I know you're excited about the carnival, and we know you're having fun practicing the games, but you're worried too much about winning. No one can win all the time, right? Right? She said, right, I said, and besides, the fun of a school carnival isn't whether you win or lose. The fun of a school carnival is just playing the games in the first place, right? She said, right, I said. So listen, they didn't convince the kid at all because she already built this up in her mind so much, but at least they observed her behavior and tried their best, even when they were overwhelmed with the whole bathroom debacle. So I knew me and Junie B were exactly the same, but this point in the book, when she says at the carnival, "I've been waiting for this exciting evening my whole entire career," that's the point in the video where things changed. And I knew it needed to be done, okay? Please bring out our special guest, Lulaloopsey. Make some noise. So you see this ominous message on the screen.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Whoa, okay.
Oh,
Next.
I was getting intense.
It's quiz time, but no need to fear. This is a little game I call Athena P or Junie B.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, me and Junie B have a lot in common. I know you wouldn't expect this.
Wow, really?
I sense that you're not actually surprised.
No.
Whoa. It's gonna be a pretty hard game, so don't get your hopes down. Yeah, I'm not, the grades aren't serious. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
First quote. Why are you being so sensitive?
I feel like this is you, only because I feel like her vocabulary isn't that big.
Lock in.
Yeah, I'm gonna lock in. I think it's you.
Okay, reveal.
Why are you being so sensitive?
Yes!
I said that to annoy my mom. You can see me going, because she wanted to take pictures of us everywhere, and then we were running away.
Oh
So
my
I
god,
just
I
think she's
hated
probably-
having my picture taken. Like, I would literally go hide.
I loved it. I loved taking my picture taken, but she was more so annoyed with my brother. And my
I liked
favorite
taking, like,
thing-
photos and videos of myself, but when anyone else would try to do it, I'd be like, no. No, we're not doing
Oh,
this.
that's funny. The one thing I loved more than recording myself was when I saw somebody a little annoyed. I was like,
it's-
I'm gonna come in for the kill. Because I'm sure that my mom has said to me, why are you being so sensitive? So I'm like, I learned a new word. Here's the thing. I haven't read all of the Junie B Jones books. We can't be sure that she hasn't said this.
No, yeah.
What a chunk.
That sounds so familiar. I think that this is like Junie B coded.
It is Junie B Jones.
I
and
read
Junie
that
B.
one!
Jones.
Okay, thank God
Oh,
I'm not...
really?
Wait, no.
Oh, I thought I took out all the ones you read.
Wait. No. I didn't read that one. I did an outfit inspired by it, so I think I, like, briefly looked at it, but I didn't end up reading it, yeah.
You cheated!
I have the crown, like, literally right here.
Stop. That's so cute.
Yeah.
I love that. Something that makes me sad is when Bambi's mom got killed in that deer movie. Also, I didn't like it when the Lion King dad died either, because even though cartoons aren't real, I still love those people. I was getting a little choked up, sorry.
Oh, this is hard. I
right.
think this could be either one.
Right?
But I don't remember, like, Junie B making, like, specific references to things. So, I am gonna say it's you, only for that reason. But if it's Junie B, I'm not gonna be surprised.
You're very astute. However, this was in the
Okay.
journal where I think they had a little bit more freedom.
Oh, that makes sense. I didn't know that was a journal.
I had this book as a kid and I was looking
Oh, really?
everywhere for it. And I couldn't find the one I had as a kid. But the one thing that I did find as a kid is I had the Junie B Jones planner. So I was in deep. I knew about, like, the extended universe.
It reminds me,
this-
I had the Diary of a Wimpy Kid one, like, where
Me
you could,
too.
like, yeah, I had, like, a bunch of stuff for you to fill out.
I just wanted to do a video. Why does he have to make me look like an idiot? Don't videotape this. And then whoever this is smacks the camera.
Okay, I am a true Athena P stan, so this is you.
What? Me? I would never resort to violence.
You would never say that.
I could only find this clip from when I recreated it, like back when, like I had, I think, 400 subscribers.
Stop, that's so long ago.
Don't worry, we don't need to help you out.
Why does he have to make me look like an idiot? My brother being an asshole. And I just come back beatboxing. There's so many videos like that that end off on, like, a rough patch of me and my brother fighting, and then the next one is us, like, teaming up to be chaotic together.
I love that you recreated it.
Do you like this restaurant? Do you like looking at the sharks? No. Why are you being so silly? Because I want to be silly. Mom rolls eyes. It's a difficult one.
Yeah.
We were the same person at one point.
Yeah,
and probably
I
still
fully
a little bit
believe
now.
that. You're just like her reincarnated.
Thank you. Oh my, what, she died?
No, she's still here.
Spoilers. Oh my god. I would cry.
I don't remember sharks being involved anywhere, but she could also be calling something a shark that's not actually a shark.
There's one book where I think she goes to Hawaii. Like, she goes on
Oh, yeah,
vacation
that's
in
true.
one of the books. I should not be giving you hints.
I'm gonna
am
guess
I?
this is you.
You're doing so good.
I'm really proud of myself now.
No.
What are you so silly?
That's so funny.
And you can hear the eye roll. She just goes, because I want to be silly. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Brings slingshot to school in her purse.
I think this is Junie B.
It's me.
Oh!
I love that slingshot. I would bring it into my middle school in my giant Juicy Couture purse, and everyone's like, Athena, why are you carrying a slingshot? And I said, to protect myself.
That is so Junie B coded.
Right? Look at me in this, like, unfortunately very Republican core. Like, there's another picture of me from this exact trip, like, holding up a gun. I'm like, whoa!
No.
Minnie Athena, no! Mother said no more money. Plus Daddy said no more money too. I need an extra buck, I tell you. I really, really need an extra buck.
Okay, this is Junie B. Because of the mother.
She has a different vocabulary. Like,
yeah.
I don't think
I can
little
sense
Athena
her
would have
speaking
said
patterns.
buck. Totally. There's some, like, quotes where... There were some where I had to be a little creative, because you know, like, her classic sentence of, like, 'cause only guess why?
Yeah.
Because of this. I quit. The teacher treated us like garbage. That is why I quit.
I think that was Junie B.
I quit.
Oh.
Q-W-I-T. I quit acting, and the next time I spell quit, it's perfectly spelled. I quit acting because the teacher was so mean, but I'm going to a new place. The other teacher was like a witch. She treated us like garbage. That is why I quit.
Wow.
The end.
No one mourns the wicked. I'm just kidding. So many people have told me, were you a theater kid? I'm like, no, but I think in another life I would be if I had went to a different high school, because the theater teacher there was actually, like, so evil.
There is no way to avoid evil theater teachers. I
Truly.
hate to say it.
They're just...
I've encountered, like, at least, like, 8 or 9 in my life. Like, that number is not an exaggeration. Like, usually, I hate to say this if you're watching and you're chill, like, this isn't about you. But a lot of theater teachers are, like, people that did this for a living, and they're, like, projecting a little bit onto, like, their little stars. It's the same, like, with, like stage moms, people that put their kids in theater. My mom was trying to, exact opposite, trying to steer me away from theater, because she's like, this is not good for her self-esteem. Little did she know I was a menace. I'm like, I quit. That teacher was a witch. That's why I quit. Bars. Also, I had to take out the acting teacher part.
Oh,
like, there were some things where I was like...
It's so oddly specific. You're like,
I don't think Junie B would be on, like, a stage and stuff, but acting classes, I don't see her doing.
Yeah. Maybe she would think she was too good for an acting class.
Yeah, she'd be like, I already know my stuff. I don't even have to take a bath today, on account of today is Saturday, and Saturday is my dirty day.
She would say this. Junie B. I'm locked in.
I should have changed the on account of. Yeah, she says on account of a lot.
Oh, yeah, she does say that.
Meanie Jim's
Saturday is
birthday.
my dirty day.
I think we've reached the end. I think you only got, like, 1 wrong, or maybe 2 wrong.
Wow, okay,
my gosh.
I'm so proud of myself.
I gotta figure out a prize.
My prize is being here.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh my god, you did so good at the quiz. That was crazy.
Oh, like, I'm actually shocked. Like, why did I do good?
Were you surprised at all the negative reviews about this book? Okay,
yes!
Thank you. Most of the time she's just being a kid.
Me, like, I personally don't like kids. Like, I don't think I'll ever have kids. But she didn't even annoy me that much. Like,
Wow. So
I'm even with on her side.
And especially, like, coming off of, I did a Horrid Henry video. Like, that kid was a bit of a menace. Like, there are definitely kids that are like, yes, this is birth control, yes. Like, that is a kid's book niche, is really rambunctious, really us against the parents. She loves her parents. Even when I think I would have talked back more to them. Like, I think she's a good kid. Like, straight up, like, a good kid.
Yeah. Yeah, she has the right spirit. She's not evil. Like,
yes. Thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome.
Where can we find you?
You can find me on YouTube at Lulaloopsey. I'm so close to 100K, not to,
Yes!
It's like
Subscribe,
literally, it's like
guys.
inching, and I'm like, oh, please.
Subscribe, guys. I mean, it's definitely going to happen in 2025. Let's get it in
And
January.
then I'm also
Let's go.
on Instagram. I'm not on TikTok anymore. You
Fuck
get
that
it.
shit. Yeah, no. Like, I also don't want to be on Meta, but I'm like, listen, I'll inch away from that slowly.
Yeah.
TikTok, the moment that notification popped up, I'm like, and delete.
Yeah, I'm like,
and
and
now I have no way of
delete. I've been
re-uploading.
looking for an excuse.
Yeah, no, seriously, Sam. Back to the thrilling conclusion of the yucky blucky fruitcake. Junie B was a handful at the carnival. I'm not gonna lie. She won a raffle and was able to pick whatever cake she wanted, and she picked the fruitcake because she loves fruit and she loves cake. Everyone warned her not to get the fruitcake, but that only made her want it more. And then when she tried it, this face says it all. She was so confused, she just says, "It got rotted." You know what this reminds me of to a T?
But I don't like pistachio!
Then why did you ask for it?
Book 6, Junie B Jones and that Meanie Jim's birthday. As an empath, this one hurt. So right off the bat, immediately, we're off to a rough start, as per usual. Junie B accidentally dropped ice cream on Lucille's dress. And of course, Mrs. made angry eyes at me. I did a gulp. Then I put my head down on my table and I covered up with my arms, because that's called laying low. And laying low is what you do if you know what's good for you. Where did she learn that from? If you know what's good for you, I don't think that should be said to a 5-year-old. It's giving aggression. It's giving anger issues. It's not giving gentle parenting. That's for damn sure. I don't think that gentle parenting existed in the 90s, let alone gentle teachering. My God. So here's where we get the biggest event. Jim said everyone in his class was invited to his party except for Junie B. So she started kissing up to him, but that didn't work. So she silently cried on the bus. And God, this takes me back. Nostalgia? More like no-stalgia. I'm full. No more, please. Even though Grandma Miller approached Junie B with so much love and empathy, Junie B just couldn't shake her 5-year-old rage. And she has revenge on the mind. So her grandma asks her, what kind of story would you like to hear? Junie B comes back with this. I would like to hear a story about a little girl who doesn't get invited to a meanie boy's birthday. So she sneaks into his house and she lets out a wild pony, and then it stomps the boy into a flatty pancake, and all the children pour maple syrup on the guy, and they eat him for breakfast. Grandma Miller looked kinda sickish. The moment the maple syrup came into the picture, I thought it was gonna be like a tar and feathering, but she went straight for cannibalism. In this book, I discovered that Junie B's birthday was in June, which is so cute. Junie is named after June. But I thought her birthday should be June 8th, because 8 kinda looks like a bee. But turns out the B stands for boo, because she's born June 1st. Wasted opportunity, I fear. Junie B's parents once again do a great job of giving her advice. And they kept thinking about her feelings. They did an amazing job, other than when the dad kept slamming his head on the table. Gee, I wonder where she gets her anger issues from. But listen to how sweet this is. Mother came home from work. She said she would drive me to school. If I drive you, then you won't have to see Jim on the bus, she said, very thoughtful. After they had their second kid, they got way more patient with Junie B. Now Junie B is back in school, and this part conflicts me. The teacher punishes Junie B for stealing another kid's invitation and for hurting Jim. Then Junie B once again gets sent to the principal. But here's the part that gets a little weird. Even though the glare on the glasses and the expression on his face makes the principal look like a villain, he was very nice and understanding to Junie B. But the principal didn't just make Jim say sorry, he made Jim give Junie B an invitation. Is that overstepping? Can he do that? I don't know. I'm just gonna say it. Her parents are good parents. I'm as shocked as all of you. They just got off on the wrong foot. But listen, they've gotten significantly better at figuring out what their daughter wants, even if Junie B doesn't know what she wants. Junie B didn't want to be the only one not going to the party. And at first they understood, but now they're questioning more as she's getting irritated getting ready for the party. Starts off, the mom says, "You're the one who wanted to go to the party. No one is making you do it." Yeah, only if I don't go, I'll be the only one in room 9. And that is the saddest story I ever heard of. Daddy sat down next to me. "Why?" he said. "Why is it sad to spend your Saturday the way you want to spend it? Why is it sad to spend the day having fun instead of wasting it on a boy you don't like?" Mother sat down too. "That doesn't sound sad to me," said Mother. "That sounds good, in fact." "No, that does not sound good," I said, very snapping. "What is so good about being the only one?" Daddy did his shoulders up and down. "Lots of things," he said. "Like you'll be the only one who doesn't have to take a bath. Have you ever thought of that?" Mother ruffled my hair. "And what about Grandpa Miller?" she asked. "You haven't forgot that he invited you to his house today, have you?" Just then, my whole mouth came open, 'cause I did forget about that. That's when Junie B realized she would rather spend the day with her grandpa fixing his toilet. That was the most exciting thing she's ever had proposed to her, because she really wants to be a handy woman. She wants to be this blue-collar worker. And even though her parents don't understand Junie B's fascination with this toilet, and often get agitated with her wanting to march to the beat of her own drum, when they see her considering doing what everyone else is doing, just because everyone else is doing it, aka peer pressure, they reinforce and encourage her strong sense of self. And I admire that they've come such a long way. I don't know, that was just sweet and wholesome and it made me happy, okay? Now on to something a little scary, jump scare warning. This fucking thing, that scared me so much as a kid. That scared me so much. This is the 8th book in the Junie B Jones series. This post-it note just says, remember to mention the cover. As if I'd forget with that fugly ass face. You'd be surprised how little patience people have for Junie B Jones when she's just talking. It's school picture day, and Junie B tells the photographer, who she calls the cheese man, because he makes her say cheese. It makes sense. Anyway, all she says to him is, only don't forget to tell me when you're ready, because one time my grandpa Frank Miller was taking my picture and he didn't tell me when he was ready, and then one of my eyes turned out open and the other one turned out closed. I made the face to show him. See my eyes? See how one of them is open and the other one is... All of a sudden the cheese man took my photo. My mouth came wide open at him. Hey, how come you did that? How come you took my picture? Because I wasn't even ready yet. The cheese man kept clicking his camera. Pretty soon he looked at the next person in line. Next, he said, I stamped my foot. Yeah, only I wasn't ready, I tell you. And so I need another turn. I hate when adults beef with toddlers. She wasn't even doing anything. The teacher scolds Junie B, even though she's right. If I ever catch Mrs. whatever her name is, it's on sight. The photographer even told Lucille, another 5-year-old, to knock it off after she said cheese a bunch. I know they're not real, but 99% of the adults in this series should be ashamed of themselves. And I fear it's too accurate to real life. Do you know Libs of TikTok? If you don't listen to this rant because your life is better off never knowing who this fuck-ass woman is, but she's made a whole career of posting high schoolers without their permission and then just like making fun of them to her massive audience. No one in Junie B Jones is that bad, but I'm feeling a little triggered. One of Junie B Jones' classmates, Polly Allen Puffer, put the idea in Junie B's head that monsters are real, because how else would the drool get there? The monster's the one that drool. Because what, you think I'd drool? Ew. That explains the spit coming out of the monster's mouth in the cover. This motherfucker unsettles me with his Muppets-looking ass. But Junie B, are you really going to listen to the boy who put cake on his head and launched milk out of his nose in the previous books? Of course she is. I do like that all the kids who tell Junie B that monsters are real heard about it from their older siblings. Go figure. Grace even says, my big sister says that monsters can turn themselves invisible when you look at them, and that's how come nobody sees them. Which must be why the blue bitch's hand is transparent on the cover. The whole older siblings thing is just too real. Sometimes, even in slice of life media, I feel like their world is separate from ours. This is so our world, it's not even funny. It's easy for me to get worked up because this is a real kid and her name is me when I was 5. When Junie B's parents went to sleep, she was still afraid. So she confides in her toys who talk back to her. It really reminded me of Rugrats. In the book, it doesn't say, so I pretended with my toys. It says that Raggedy Larry and Philip Johnny Bob are talking. Get into it, immerse yourself. Have a sense of childlike wonder for fucking once. Would it kill you? I almost forgot this book about the monster under the bed started with school pictures. Good thing it ended up swinging full circle. Junie B was bullied for her school pictures. Even after showering Lucille in compliments, she's always talking about how her friend Lucille is the prettiest, and Lucille takes any opportunity to trash Junie B. Lucille's a fake-ass friend, and at this point, I didn't even know the half of it. Luckily, Junie B spun this as a positive. She used her school pictures to scare the monster away. And look at how cute this picture is of her and her mom smiling at the end. I don't even have to say it, but we love to see it. 7th book we read, 14th book in the series, Junie B Jones and the Mushy Gushy Valentine. Valentime. rather. But oh my god, 14th book and it's about Valentine's Day. That's cute. I only put a few post-it notes in this one because I really wanted to highlight a trope that I absolutely hate. I bet you could guess what it is the moment you figure out that Junie B has a secret admirer. Even if it's obvious to us, Junie B is struggling figuring out who it is. She just starts winking at people, but she can't wink, so it's just a blink. She starts with that crybaby William. I winked my eye at him, only I'm not actually good at winking, so I have to say the words. Wink, William, wink. I said, wink, wink, wink. See my eye? See how it's trying to wink at you? Turn around, please, he said. This could have been a TV show. I'm surprised that it wasn't a TV show. Could have been Rugrats for the undiagnosed LGBT girly poops. Anyway, are you ready for this? The secret admirer was Jim, the one who's always mean to her. It's that classic trope. Oh, he's mean to you because he likes you. Even though the pictures are cute, like Junie B Jones's face in this is really giving,
You like Krabby Patties, don't you, Squidward?
like I said, I don't enjoy this trope. I feel like it gives younger boys permission to treat girls like shit to show affection, like just teach boys and men to show affection without getting angry. But the way he talks is obviously still like a 5-year-old, and it's really cute. He explains why he wants to keep it a secret. Because if you and I like each other, then I won't tease you anymore. And if I don't tease you, then you won't tease me back. And that means you won't shout silly, funny stuff at me that makes people laugh. You make room 9 sparky. And then he just keeps going zzz, zzz, zzz at her. And so guess what? Then me and that silly guy started chasing each other all over room 9, and we kept poking and sparking. And it was the funnest game I ever heard of. When she goes to 1st grade, we never see him again. Book 17, and the last book where Junie B Jones is a kindergartner. It's Junie B Jones is a graduation girl. I feel like seeing a child character grow up, especially in slice of life media, is so rare. I equal parts loved and hated seeing this change, because change is difficult, as you will say. Junie B just turned 6 years old, and even though on her report card it says she showed considerable improvement, she was still sent to the principal for suggesting something inappropriate for their invitation poem. Girlie got sent to the principal for saying that feet smell like stink. That's just observational comedy. The principal even cracked up, but he tried to hide it. This guy is so real. I love seeing how much each person means to Junie B. She's so loving and sentimental. Let me read this to you. Both of us waved goodbye, and I started skipping back to room 9. Then all of a sudden, I stopped and spun around. Yeah, only we're not saying goodbye forever, right, principal, right? 'Cause next year I will get sent down here too, probably. Or else maybe you and I can see each other on the playground, right? Principal did a chuckle. Right, he said. Hooray! I said, hooray, hooray! Isn't that sweet? I never liked any of my principals. In fact, my elementary school principal cheated on his wife with one of the teachers. Fuck that guy! We get another scene where she confides in her toys, and let me tell you something. These stuffed inanimate objects are truly an echo chamber. They egg her on. It's almost as if we're just hearing her thoughts. Everybody thinks I'm a sloppy baby, but I'm not, I said. I don't think you're a sloppy baby, said my stuffed elephant named Philip Johnny Bob. I don't think you're a sloppy baby either, said my Raggedy Ann named Ruth. My Raggedy Andy named Larry did a sigh. I wish your mother didn't put that cap and gown box on top of the refrigerator, he said. Me too, said Philip Johnny Bob. I wish you could get it down from there so all of us could see it. Oh, Junie B. What do you think happens in the chapter entitled Juice Driplets? She, of course, spilt grape juice all over her graduation gown. This happened while she was giving her plushies a sip to drink. This is how the chapter starts. Grape juice can go wrong. First, Raggedy Ruth got purple on her mouth, then Teddy got a dribble drop on his paw, and then, oh no! Raggedy Larry forgot to swallow his whole entire sip. This happened because Grandpa was watching.
Typical!
And she just walks all over him. The next morning, my grandpa Frank Miller came to babysit. I love that babysitter very much, because he doesn't even follow the rules, that's why. As the series goes on, you start to understand people's actions more. Like, this time, instead of smoking in front of her, the grandpa was busy watching her younger baby brother, so it happens. Oh my god, I looked exactly like her when I did that.
Twins. gowns.
Junie B's solution is to draw purple polka dots all over the gown and cap to make the grape juice blend in. Is the gown still soiled? Yes. But I think it would look worse with just the grape juice, I will say that. Since this is the very last time we see Mrs., she had to have a hero moment. When the class saw Junie B's gown and started laughing, Junie B burst into tears. Earlier in this series, every time she cried, she really kept it to herself. Like she hid herself, or she went somewhere no one could see her. So this is the first time her class witnessed her burst into tears, like hysterical. And they immediately felt bad. They were laughing at her and then they stopped. And Mrs. comforted her the whole time, not getting angry even a little. Mrs. took me into the hall. She wiped my face with a tissue and we talked about my graduation gown. Mrs. said that I would look darling in that dotty thing, cause purple is her favorite color. Plus, grape juice is her favorite kind of drink. And after her family comforted her, the whole class drew spots on their cap and gowns in solidarity. Surprise! Hollered my bestest friend named Grace. I looked at those people very shocked. Then my mouth came all the way open, cause they had dots on their clothes just like mine. That Grace skipped all around. It was Jim's idea, Junie B. Jim said that if all of us have spots too, then you will feel better. It's so funny to think about how much Jim likes her now, because he probably gave her that invitation to his birthday party and was like, I can't wait for her to come, oh my god. And he was just sitting there and he's like, she's not coming, is she? He was probably raging. Okay, this post-it note just says, like, why am I tearing up? Because it's the end of an era. Seeing her grab the diploma and Mrs. finally smiling at her instead of screaming at her, I feel fulfilled. Too bad Mrs. and Jim are never seen again because they probably fucking died. Oh no, side up. We are now up to Junie B Jones' first grader at last. The lineup of kids we see is immediately different. I forgot to mention this, but right after the cover page, we always see all the kids in Junie B's class. Lucille is now the only one Junie B knows, and now they have to write in a journal. The only thing really different about the journal is we see the lined paper in Junie B's handwriting, but otherwise it's exactly the same as Junie B always talks to us. Page 13. Unfortunately, Lucille is a terrible friend who ditches her before class even starts. You and I have already been best friends, remember? We were best friends for a whole long year, so now it's time for Camille and Chenille to get a turn. And besides, their names rhyme with my name, and yours doesn't. Don't be sad, okay? You and I can still be friends, Junie B, just not on a regular basis. The next chapter skips to the next day, probably to avoid violence. I mean, how else would Junie B have reacted to that? And I know I sound like a broken record, I know I'm enabling, but I don't blame her. Her other best friend, Grace, who isn't even in her class, also didn't sit next to her on the bus. Grace sat down next to her new friend. Junie B and the new kid in school, Herb, bond over having no friends. Junie B also has a new nemesis named May, who is a total tattletale, and her new teacher, Mr. Scary, might be Tom Selleck in disguise. Mr. Scary brought Junie B to the nurse to further check her eyesight after she was squinting at the chalkboard and couldn't read the words right. I don't know if it's the fact that Jim 180'd or recency bias, but May seems way meaner. Junie B went up for show and tell, and May laughed at her glasses in front of everyone. Junie B was about to start crying, but Herb complimented them. Lucille said she loved them too because they're purple, but she wasn't first. I mean, it took her a while to say anything. Between Junie B's new bully being a girl, and all of her new friends and amazing teacher being boys, I see why when I was younger it took me a while to get into the new first grade era. Like, now she is the only main character who's a girl who isn't her nemesis. Before we get into the last two books I read, and this survival guide that I kept from when I was a kid, let's talk about the Junie B musical. The first song is Top Secret Personal Beeswax. Top Secret Personal Beeswax. This is one of her catchphrases, so it makes for a really strong opening. She sings about all the new things she'll draw and write about in her diary. I wrote here that it lasts a tad too long, but now that I've listened to the other songs, it should have been longer. I feel bad for this kid that had to play the dog, and at first I was surprised that they picked the first day of first grade to adapt, but I guess that really was the biggest conflict she's ever had to overcome. I mean, damn, the second song of the musical is Lucille unfriending her in real life, with the choreography of her and her new friends trampling Junie B. I'm more angry than I was reading it. The songs are pretty much the only new material. After that, we cut to the bus, and the way Junie B told off Grace is exactly how it was in the book.
Grace, excuse me, Grace. What kind of shenanigans do you call this, madam? Didn't you see me sitting here?
The only thing that was different was her duet with Herb. It was aggressively okay until we got to these harmonies. These kids are so talented. All the lyrics were cute until we got to the song Time to Make a Drawing. This was when Junie B couldn't see the chalkboard. She says a bunch of gibberish before singing,
Are these names of Chinese food?
Junie B, no, Junie B! The book's from 1992, aged better than this musical from 2004. I love that the Glasses song was sung like a curse. Speaking of, so instead of the teacher doing a bunch of sight tests with her, the entire class jumps to their feet, and in a nightmare style, they berate her about her nearsightedness. The dialogue at this point lasts, I'm not even joking, 2 seconds. Junie B comes home with her new glasses, and the conversation she has with her mom pretty much goes like this. What if they all laugh at me? Oh no, sweetie, I'm sure they won't. Lucille decided she didn't want to be friends anymore. What? And the lights go down. Next scene, what the hell? May laughs at her during show and tell, just like she did in the book. She loves her glasses now, just like in the book. And now she has a new lunchbox, just like in the book. Wait, this wasn't in the book. Hang on.
A few minutes later.
They're combining the first grade books because we're not even halfway through the musical. And this storyline is from the very next book, The Boss of Lunch. They were singing a song about how much they love their lunch lady. And this one kid sang that the lunch lady's heart is as big as her butt. What? And I shit you not, he bends over behind facing the audience and just starts like touching his butt. Put the choreographer in jail and take this off of YouTube immediately. What the fuck is that? And I'm pretty sure they don't mention Gladys's butt at all in the book, so this is just like extra fucking weird. Then Gladys the lunch lady comes out and yep, it's a kid in a fat suit. There's more dialogue for this lunch lady than Junie B's parents or teacher has gotten at this point. So far, instead of summarizing this book into 5 songs like they did with the Glasses one, we get 1.5 song and a shit ton of dialogue to make it flow super not seamlessly into the next book. We skip when she lost a tooth and cheated on a test to get to book 22, One Man Band, where they sing/chant, kickball, kickball, and then we hear an ow off screen because Junie B kicked a watering can while she was practicing. We have dialogue pulled straight from the book because the book is just too darn charming.
Only too bad for me because that dumb thing was filled with water, and now I have a smashed piggy toe. The end.
Gee, a watering can had water in it? How unusual.
Sheldon sings about the halftime show, who cares? I understand this is a show for kids to be cast in, so the background characters needs to have songs too, but I don't care. Now the mom and dad are singing a song, When Life Gives You Lemons. They're teaching her an important lesson to make the most out of her situation, and that she'll still have fun even if she can't play kickball. Yeah, sure. But oh my god, the entire time I thought that was a real baby on stage until it started doing the kick line. That scared the shit out of me.
My outfit is pink. Here comes the halftime show, I think.
You may be colorblind. And then it ends with her singing that she's writing down the story of her life. Okay, I don't know. The start was so strong, and then they just chose the wrong 2 last books to wrap it up. If they focused on the Christmas and Easter route, we could have focused on May and Junie's rivalry instead of her romance with Herb. It would have been so much better. Junie B Jones, Jingle Bells, Batman Smells, P.S. So does May. This is when their rivalry has peaked. May and Junie B have been fighting so much, Mr. Scary told them that if they keep on fighting, he'll take them out of the Christmas choir. A few fun observations. One, I don't know how this took me so long, but I love that Junie's nemesis is named May. It makes me wish that Jim's name was like August or something. I love a silly theme. Anyway, also, Mr. Scary is a much better teacher. Every time the kids fight or somebody misbehaves, he'll pull them outside into the hallway instead of yelling at them in front of everyone. Just a really calm, nice, attractive guy. Who said that last part? Lucille has always flexed her wealth in obnoxious ways. I mean, what way can you flex your wealth that's not obnoxious, am I right? But now that she's no longer friends with Junie B, that is all she does. All the kids are saying what they're gonna buy from the Christmas gift shop, and some of the kids are talking about how expensive items are. Lucille butts in, I can spend all the money in the world. I'm rich. She stood up and fluffed herself. My family has more money than anything you can shake a stick at. At this point, I had a headcanon / theory that Lucille's family is awful. They're the ones encouraging Lucille to brag. They also brag, from everything we've heard. So, I believe after the kindergarten graduation, Lucille's family encouraged her to cut off Junie B after the whole cap and gown debacle. I think that when their little Lucille walked on the stage with the splotches all over her cap and gown, maybe one of them fainted, maybe one of them uttered a "good heavens," and now they're not friends anymore. Junie B gets May for Secret Santa, and she's absolutely livid. She may kill someone. For a good long while, Junie B plans to give May coal while getting herself a squeeze-a-burp. What in the Sam heck is a squeeze-a-burp? It's essentially a whoopee cushion. I think they were too afraid to say fart in a girl's book, and that's just heartbreaking to me. Fartbreaking to me. Also, look at the teacher laughing. Mrs. Could never. Junie B decides to give May the squeeze-a-burp after Junie B hears why May is so excited for Secret Santa. This is May. Having a Secret Santa makes you feel like you have a best friend, she said, very giggling. Right, Lenny? Huh? It makes you feel like you have a best friend, doesn't it? Lenny looked funny at her. But I do have a best friend, May. My best friend is Jose. Jose smiled. Back at you, Len, he said. Her pointed at me, and my best friend is Junie B. Just then, May stopped bouncing and squirming, and her face lost all its happy. Oh, she said real soft. Right. Her shoulders slumped a little bit. Well, anyway, that's what it makes me feel like. Having a Secret Santa makes me feel like I have a best friend, too. And everyone's like, awkward, and there's a little bit of like coughs, like, May is such a fucking bummer that Junie B learns empathy right then and there. This is like the Valentine's episode with Jim, but better. Crushes have nothing to do with the plot anymore. Although my theory is that May has a crush on her, but that's neither here nor there. This is the last book in here. Technically, the last book they published was a Thanksgiving one, but that coming out after the Christmas one and the Easter one, but still takes place in first grade. This is the last book in their timeline. Lucille is throwing an Easter party. Lucille is talking to the whole class, and she says, wait till you hear this. My daddy is going to hide a real pretend golden egg, and whoever finds the golden egg will win the grand prize of the day. And that is the fabulous playdate with me, Lucille. And it's not just any old fabulous playdate with me either. The winner is going to get to go swimming with me in my heated indoor swimming pool that we just enclosed. Undeniably, Lucille, jerk, right? But I remember this being my favorite book when I was a kid because I had the realization, wait a damn minute, being rich sounds kind of fun. I will say, rereading this, Sheldon and Lucille flirting made me so uncomfortable because little dudes' nicknames sound like something you'd hear from a great-grandpa, not a 6-year-old. Like when Lucille and Sheldon were chasing each other, Sheldon says, come back here, you springy little lamb.
A what?
I fucking hate that. Hate that.
Not here, kitten whiskers.
So remember that theory I had about Lucille's family hating Junie B, and that's the reason they were no longer friends? I was more correct than I thought. Because we finally meet Lucille's family, and let's see their reaction to Junie B. Look, see? It's me, Junie B Jones. I pointed at my face. Don't you remember me? Huh? I spent the night here with Lucille and Grace. Remember that, Nana? It was the time of our life. The Nana looked closer at me. Then, all of a sudden, drops of sweaty came on her head. She took out a tissue and dabbed herself. Oh my, oh dear, yes, I remember now. She did a little shiver. Junie B Jones. I remember you well. You'd think the kid killed her husband. What was that? It seems like Lucille's friendship / baby romance with Sheldon will also only last at most a year. Because here Nana is hating children again. He had an egg stain on his shirt that he thought was good luck. He hurried over to the Nana, and he tried to show her his egg shirt, but Nana backed up from him. Then she quickly grabbed Lucille's daddy, and she said the words, do something. Sheldon is an interesting character, because even though he looks exactly like a boy Lucille, very posh and put together, their upbringings couldn't be any more different. Aunt Bunny was a chef, in prison, Sheldon said. The Nana's face went funny. Oh yeah, no way her family accepts him. Since Junie B pulled out the purple jelly bean, she gets to be the Easter bunny at this party. When Junie B was unsure if she wanted to be the bunny, Lucille had a full-blown meltdown. Oh no, do not tell me that, Junie B Jones. You have to be the bunny, you have to! She ran to her daddy and pulled on his arm. Make her, daddy! Make Junie B be the bunny! bunny. Well, we certainly would like it if Junie B was the bunny, but we can't really make her, Lucille. Lucille jumped up and down at me. You're going to ruin my whole party, Junie B Jones. This Veruca Salt dupe is really irritating me beyond belief. And wait a damn minute, where's Grace? And I thought she kicked Junie B Jones to the curb. Damn. Junie B found the golden egg, but gave it to Sheldon to make both him and Lucille happy. I mean, just a second before Junie B found it, she overheard Lucille scolding Sheldon. If you don't find the golden egg, I will have to swim in my pool with someone I don't actually care for. Think of me, Sheldon. You have to think of me. Don't you know anything about being a boyfriend? Boyfriends do not let their girlfriends swim with people they don't care for. I kind of understand why I love this book. Seeing Junie B be selfless is weirdly inspiring, but I think a better example of this is the Christmas book. Like, as an adult, I definitely like the Christmas book better. Lucille just pisses me off. Now, before we wrap up, there's a couple of things in here from little Athena, and I just want to show you, because she's an icon too, don't you forget now. Like, look, I drew my own favorite fancy clothes. You see those heels? You see that waist belt? You see that, like that Radio Disney chic? Pay attention, because this is fashion, okay? Junie B said, here's an even funner idea. You can write some silly school supplies you would love to buy. Now here, I really thought out of the box, quite literally. You see here, we have normal things like iPods and Juicy Couture sunglasses. Work, bitch. But I also turned this into a plasma flat screen and a stretch limo. You see how that's a window, and I made two other windows? Whether it's Athena P or Junie B, we stay serving. I don't think I finished it. I think I got a little bored with this one. I really wish I had my journal that I filled out, my Junie B journal. I can't find it. If I do end up finding it, I'll post it on the second channel, but I think we're gonna have to call it here, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. I'm pushing the Big Time Rush video to February. Boo, stinky. But I have a lot of fun planned this year. I really hope you enjoy. Subscribe if you did, and have a great day, butt lovers. Bye!